Sandblasting can be finicky. I just ground and sandblasted the underside of my Corolla, and it takes a long time, a very long time. I found that there was a delicate balance between all the blasting components to make it run just right, but it definitely made prepping complex areas and hard to reach places much easier. If you're going down this path, throughout the video there's definitely some tips, tricks, and upgrades I can share with you to make your process run a little smoother. We'll start by taking off the fuel and brake lines. I was wrenching on this thing for quite a while until I realized that I just had to take out the brake hose clips and it popped right out.
Come off, you frick. Yeah. Gotcha. Come on.
The very act of taking on this restoration project comes with a certain level of self-confidence. Taking some nuts and bolts off is one thing. It's the wires that scare me. I don't understand wires, never have, and it's truly one of the only things that scares me from actually getting this project finished. Restoring the undercarriage for the most part means cleaning up the engine bay while the engine is out. But I didn't want to have to touch any of the wires. I stood here for a long time just staring. If I take this apart, it may never come back together. Or I'll have to actually get somebody that knows what they're doing to get involved. But I didn't want to have to do this at this phase of the project. I'll take it one step at a time and try to keep everything in one piece. Some of these recording sessions are for entertainment value, but this one's definitely for looking back in the future and seeing where everything needs to go.
Righty-tighty lefty. Let's see, there we go. Okay, we're moving. Okay, we got some fans. Oh, it's a rat's nest. Well, there that goes. Oh my god. Okay, that's one. I don't even know what it is. This car will never get back together. Okay. Everything. Oh my god. How is this car getting back together? It's all one big rat's nest that I can move around now, which is good. Now I just need to get it out of the way so I can sandblast and paint and stuff like that. Maybe I can just wrap it all. Okay, so now I got this large rat's nest of wires, but it's all still intact. You know, it could save me, It probably all needs to be redone anyways, but for now, I can put this aside, tuck it somewhere, you know, maybe get it on a something, and I can sandblast. This is great. And this is to the brake master cylinder. Whoa, not too much bend in there, boy. There we go. Woo! Yeah. Surprised these came out all rusted. I have no idea what these are. Nice. Aha. I found this car canopy sitting in the warehouse that nobody was using, and figured if I taped some poly to the perimeter, it'd be perfect for containing dust and debris from getting into the rest of the space. Perhaps it'll be good for a paint booth in the future too. Is this stupid? So, it's not great, but it's done. I should have used more of this, 8-foot poly, but I couldn't find it at the store, and I only had so much here. So I found this kind of furniture wrap, and I just went for it. Not the best, but you know what? For blasting and keeping debris and dust in here, not even so much, most of the debris. That's what I want to keep in here. Yeah, I hope it's okay. We'll test it and see what happens, but this is where it starts. But for painting, I think I'll need to go get another large roll of poly and make sure it actually is all taped up, and then use the fans that I have to get proper ventilation and no dust contaminants in here. But for now, I think it's fine.
And that's where it stops. Now I gotta shake it.
Holy smokes. So the sandblaster keeps getting clogged, and I think there is some moisture in it. There's decusant. The decusant is turning purple, which means that there's water in it. I checked both the traps. There was a little bit of water in there, so I think some of it's getting to the sandblaster and it's getting clogged up in the bottom. I watched a couple videos and said that it, bunches up at the bottom. I've shaken it, everything. For the most part, I've got a lot of these intricate areas. I need to go a little bit more on this. A lot of this is getting pretty clean. So I think I'm gonna start on the grinder and see how that goes. And yeah. So I was getting pretty fed up with having to shake my sandblaster over and over again. So I decided to upgrade with more loops and a new decusant dryer from Princess Auto. I also dried out all the beads and they turned from pink to a nice blue. After this, I have to admit it was working a lot better. I was using 3060 grit crushed glass for most of the blasting and it did a great job. I accidentally bought 2030 grit, which was more coarse. You'd think it'd do a better job removing rust and paint, but actually the finer grit was quicker and it hurt much less on the hands from ricocheting back at you. The coarser grit didn't get clogged as much at the bottom of the pot, but it did get clogged more in the handle. All you had to do was stick a screwdriver down the handle and it would come unclogged. So I needed to make some upgrades to the dead man's handle on the pot sandblaster.
It had completely worn through from the sand. It was a pain to open all the time, and air was leaking out of it with sand going everywhere. It just wasn't a good time. So I upgraded it to have a ball valve and took off the handle. So it was a lot easier to open and didn't clog as much. The visor and everything else near the sandblasting process got severely etched. My mask got etched, the lights got etched. I was afraid to put my phone, which is recording all these videos, near because I was afraid that glass might get etched. In the end, the Enclosure actually did a great job containing the debris, and only a little bit of dust escaped. It's quite a sight, almost unrecognizable from when it first started. Almost like a new car. Almost. Let's be real, this car is 50 years old. But it really does reflect well in the light. I can get a good sense of the metal that needs to be replaced. The blasting process did reveal a few new spots of rust that I hadn't noticed before, but they'll get patched up. You'll notice that there's little bits of pitting with rust spots. I'm not too worried about that because when I prep the metal before applying the undercoating, I'll put some phosphoric acid solution to neutralize everything, followed by a self-etching primer to really adhere to the metal. Overall, this project is really coming together, and it's the first time where I feel like I've made an improvement to the overall aesthetics. So here's a safety warning. My fingers, hands, and forearms started going numb the days after this. Just today I went to the doctor and he said that from the prolonged grinding vibrations, my carpal tunnel nerve was inflamed, but everything else should be fine after some anti-inflammatory pills. So just a heads up, take breaks while you're doing this. Next steps will be to cut out all the rust, fabricate some new metal, and learn to weld. That's right, I don't know how to weld. Should be fun. See you on the next one.